Again, welcome. AAM's 30-minute basics, and we have a number of people attending today. So we're going to go over our basics in the Media Intelligence Center, how to access periodicals, how to access newspapers, how to access PDF reports, brand view, and then also download data into Excel. And you should now see our main website, auditedmedia.com. This is where you go ahead and log in for the Media Intelligence Center. So I'm going to click this login right here at the top of the page. Then you'll see Media Intelligence Center and Publisher Filing Center. We want to click on Media Intelligence Center. Now, what you should see here is you've got a login page. So on the left-hand side is your returning user, on the right, your new user. If you do not have a login for the Media Intelligence Center, please go ahead and give us a call, this 224 number noted here, and we'll give you your temporary credentials. Once you create them, you're going to go ahead and return on the returning user side of the login page. So I'm going to log in. So this is the main page of the Media Intelligence Center. This is where you're going to access all different kinds of media. But everything that we're working on, our news media statements, our publisher statements, our audits, everything is featured in here. So you can come in here and access over 1,500 publications. So here publications are listed, in alphabetical order. And the CERC number you see on these pages are print and digital. Usually people don't use these numbers. It can be a brief look at here, but you can access a deeper dive into information by accessing either clicking on a name or pulling it into the analyzer, which we'll show you soon. So there's a couple ways to select titles, and we're going to start with magazine media. So I'm going to put a check mark to the left of magazine media. Now, a couple ways to access is, let's say you've got a handful of titles and you want to put them in the search by bar. So go ahead and type in your first title. So let's say we want L, and I see L here. So I'm going to click on that. Now, everything you'll see, L Canada, L Decor, L Quebec, that all comes up here. Now, let's say I want to also access Allure. So I put a comma, but no space, and I type in Allure. Now, let's say I want to add one of our Canadian publications, and I start typing in Chatelaine, and then I click on Chatelaine. So now you're going to see that we've got our lists here: Allure, Chatelaine, L, etc. You can add more titles by clicking comma, no space, magazine C, D, etc. Just put comma, no space. So to access information, PDF reports, and brand view for a title is to click on the name in blue. So right here, you'll know a title has brand view if you go to the overview tab. The overview tab is where you're going to get an overview of what the magazine is about, and it's going to feature a circulation tab, etc. L has just a couple of tabs. Oftentimes there are more. It just depends on what the magazine participates in. So the third tab here that I want to bring to your attention is the Rapid Report tab. Now, Rapid Report is required for all U.S. consumer magazines reporting circulation of 500,000 or more. We just made this change. It is optional for all other AAM magazines. What Rapid Report is consumer magazine publishers share preliminary top-line CERC data within weeks of the on-sale or distribution date. So as publishers receive fresh data for each issue, Rapid Report is updated with the latest information. So you can see here, we've got information for February and March, and this will lead up to that June 2022 statement. So you can access Rapid Report right from these tabs here. Now let's go to MM360. For those magazines participating in MPA MM360, we have a tab that features this data compiled monthly. It is compiled by us. It used to be an MPA product, but now it is compiled within AAM. So Magazine 360, it reports that measures magazine audiences across multiple platforms and formats, including print, digital editions, websites, and video. So now we're going to go ahead and go to Reports Library. Reports Library is where you feature audit reports, publisher statements, that type of thing. With our magazines, we use June and December pub statements, but you can also look at an audit. But let's take the most recent pub statement here, and we'll make it bigger so that you can see it. So if you want to access a pub statement for L, you can just click on the report date. You can also filter by report type. Let's say I just want to see publisher statements. I click that. Now I only have publisher statements. Let's say I want to add historical reports. I click this Add Historical Reports button up here, and data goes back 10 years. So you can remove historical reports or add them, and then data is going to go back 10 years. So just remember, if you want to access that data, you can click that Add Historical Reports button. You can also choose farm data or B2B data. So let's go ahead and click Reset. And let's do B2B data. Here we have our business-to-business publications. We have 153. And you can go ahead and click on the name in blue to access their information as well. So you see Albuquerque Business First. We've got their information. They have brand view as well. Something to bring up, and I didn't with consumer magazines. There's a filter up here, and this can be shared with AAM members and non-AAM members to access a publication's brand view. And that will provide the information if somebody's looking for their media kit, etc. So just remember, you can copy and paste this URL. So you can also access, go back and access farm. So let's go out of here, and I'm going to deselect B2B and click on farm. Here again is our farm publications. We have 20 of them, and you access PDF information just as we did for our consumer magazines and our B2B. You just click on the name in blue. And again, we have brand view with an overview of Hoard's Dairyman, and you can access their circulation tab. They have some charts here that you can download. Same with consumer magazines and B2B that have brand view. And then also you can click on Reports Library, just like we can do with consumer titles, B2B titles. You access a pub statement or an audit report by clicking on the report date. So we go back to the Media Intelligence Center. We're going to hit Reset, and we're going to look at newspapers. So I click Reset, and now I'm going to click on News Media. Before we selected magazine, media, B2B, and farm, now we're letting the system know I'm going to look at newspaper media. So I'm going to focus on that. We have, for our news media, 1,104 publications. And if you go down to the country filter, you'll see them divided by the US and Canada. So once again, you can use and search for newspapers by using the search by bar, or you can use filters. Same as you can do with consumer magazines. You can use the filters on the left-hand side to access parent company, you can access circulation, etc. So here you can just type in this. Let's say you're looking for publications with a certain circ and over. You can do the same with the magazine filters, B2B, etc. These are all available. You also can access parent company. But first, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to use that search by bar. And the search by bar here, we just start typing in titles. So we want to use the Tennessean. And as we start typing in, we'll hit enter and we'll get our title. So remember, just like with our magazines, you put a comma, but no space, and you start typing in the next title. and let's say it's Kansas City Star. So you want to click on the blue name of a newspaper once again to go to brand view. And as with magazines, on the overview tab for newspapers, there's a link to a publications media kit. So let's go ahead, we'll click on Kansas City Star, and you'll see here they have brand view because they have the overview tab. Here is the overview about the publication and their media kit. Again, you can share this link here if you would like to AAM clients and non-AAM clients. They will have their brand view information available. So you can access their audience, their print distribution, etc. Also, there is a distribution map tab. Now, this is our heat map. What this does is it gives you a glimpse or a shot of what the area looks like for Kansas City Star and where the heat map is. The darker the orange, the higher the circulation. So you get an idea of where Kansas City Star is distributed, and you can click on a particular zip code and it will give you the Sunday zip based on their March information. So this is zip code 64080, which is Pleasant Hill, and it's 197 circ for Sunday. As we go further into darker orange, you'll see this is Independence, zip code 64055. And so you can access and see information based on this heat map. Now, I'll show you in a little bit how to download data into Excel. This is more just a visual map. If you press on the filters, you can change the frequency from Sunday to Wednesday if you want to see their Wednesday. You can use other filters here as well. That's up to you. So just remember to use the filters if you'd like to change any of those filters. So also, just as a reminder, Circ by Zip data is not available on a news media statement PDF. Zip data is available on the distribution map tab and the distribution by zip code report in the news media analyzer, which I'll show you how to access shortly. Next, we want to go to the news media statement tab. News media statements are where you're going to access your PDF statements for our publications. This is 6 months ending March and 6 months ending September. You'll get top line data for that March and September information right here on a news media statement. The most current statement will be in the window, and for the majority of people, it will be that March news media statement. If you want to access previous news media statements, you just go ahead and click on previous news media statement. You choose your statement. Say we want to look at 9/30/2020. It shows up here, and you just increase the size or you download it, whatever you'd like to do. So I'm going to exit out of here. And then also you can access a publications audits in the reports library tab, excuse me. You access an audit. If you click on a report date, it brings up that audit and you can download it or save it. Right here is our most recent audit statement. This reconciles the audit with the claims. And these are provided once per year or every other year for our smaller publications. So we'll exit out of there. If you want to add historical reports, click on Add Historical Reports, and you'll see once again, just like we could do with our magazines, it goes back to about 10 years. So if I go back into the main page here, remember you want to access PDF reports, you want to access brand view, works the same for our titles. Go ahead and click on that name in blue. Let's go over just a few of the filters, which I did before. You can do, I'm going to reset and I'm going to click on news media. So we're going to look at a couple. You can do country. If you wanted to look at Canadian titles, you just select Canada. If you deselect and you want to look at United States, you can select that too. You can go over the circulation filter, which I showed you earlier, or the parent company filter. This is a popular filter with all types of media, whether it be consumer magazines, newspapers, B2B titles. Sometimes people are looking for a certain parent company. And let's click on parent company. And let's say we were looking at, we'll just scroll down here and find, okay, let's say you're looking at Gannett. And I'm going to click apply and close. Now you'll see here we have all of our lists with our parent company listed here for Gannett titles. Our newspaper data works the same. You can pull up, our magazine data works the same. You can pull up by parent company and select that type of information. I'm going to click reset here. That's that circle right here with an arrow at the end that resets your search so that you can start from scratch. Quick tip again, the publication headers are clickable up here. So if you wanted to look for a particular type of publication or a parent company, click on parent company and it will sort by parent company. If you want to choose, let's say we choose news media and click on Sunday, Saturday, it'll pull up the highest circulation right here on the front page. Also, let me reset again. And you can type in a zip code in the search by bar. We do it just like we're doing titles. So let's say we wanted 11368, and then we click enter. Then I'm going to put a comma, and let's do 60629 and enter. Now you'll see newspapers that report circulation within those zip codes. So here we've got a number of titles listed based on the zip codes. So just as an example, I'm going to use these to pull data into the newspaper analyzer. So something very important to take from this training. If you'll notice, when I select one title, this Analyze Data button pops up. And that Analyze Data button is the doorway to the News Media Analyzer. When you deselect it, that button goes away. So please remember, select at least one title, but we're going to select all to pull them into the News Media Analyzer. And then we're going to click on Analyze Data. When you click on Analyze Data, you want to go to the News Media Analyzer. And this is for newspapers. You can choose either News Media Statement Data, which is here, or Audited Data. Audited data will only be available via PDF statements, beginning with September 2020 data. So you can access audited data. Most people are accessing statement data. Again, starting in September 2020, we stopped databasing that audited data. So we recommend using the default, which is News Media Statement. Here you can access several different reports. Executive Summary Report, that goes over your top line data, your total paid, total print, total digital replica and non-replica, or total paid, total qualified, etc. You can access our reports in 3 different ways. You can export. This will export a report directly into Excel. And that means you cannot choose the column headers. It's just going to export that data directly into Excel. So we went ahead and provided that file here. We're going to downsize this. Now it goes directly export into Excel. Your other option is View Report. Now I rarely use View Report because what it is what you're viewing here is what you've exported into Excel. But if you want to see the column headers, you can just see what's chosen here and click on Export. Choose your preferred format. 9 times out of 10, it's XLSX, which is the most recent Excel. And then you click OK and it downloads. Your final third option to access any of these reports is the Modify option. This is the one I use most often because it allows you to see the category options. The categories that are automatically grayed out are included in your report already. If you want to add additional information, like let's say parent company, publication type, total paid, and total qualified. So I've added those additional categories. I then click Submit. and I click on export. I choose my preferred format from this window and I click OK. And now my report's going to pop up. So remember, with all of our reports here, it's easy to access via those three ways. Most of them are done via export or modify, and that works for any of these reports you see here. Executive summary is very popular, as is print analysis. People go to print analysis because it lists individual subscriptions and single copy sales, total individually paid print, and it has your business traveler as well. So whereas executive summary was that kind of top line data, if you want to go into a little more of the nitty gritty for print analysis, you can access this here. I'm going to select all, click submit. And once my report shows up here, I just click on this export button, choose my format, and click OK. And that will download. So digital edition analysis is much like print, except it goes into further detail about digital. Another very popular report, and probably the most popular of our geo reports, is distribution by zip code. Again, you've got your three options to the right of this report to access. I'm going to click on modify. Here you'll have your grayed out categories that are automatically selected. And I'm just going to click on member number and parent company. And then I'm going to click on submit. Now it will load your distribution by zip code. And it was for all of those publications that we brought in. Those publications were based on those zip codes that we pulled up. Then you just export this report, choose your format, and click OK. And that downloads into Excel. Goes the same for all of these reports. Whether you're choosing executive summary, distribution by county, state, zip code, or DMA, choose your export, view report, or modify. So then right here, you'll see also you can do historical reporting period. So here I'm going to click on my historical reporting period, and I can choose to go period over period. So I've got 3/31/2022. 3/31/2021, and let's do Q1 2020. Now, if we go back farther, Q1 2020, we used to provide data quarterly, top line data. Now it's provided every March and September. You can still pull this data historically, and then go down here and select your report. Then once you choose your historical reporting periods, it will show up in your results. You've got your 22 information, then it'll go to 21, and then it'll go down to 20, etc. And you export this just like we did anything else with XLSX here, click OK. So remember, if you want to keep the default current reporting period, it'll pull the most recent data available for all of these reports. So what we're going to do now is click on reset. And we're going to take a look at the Periodical Analyzer. So remember, we can search using the search by bar, which is right here, or use your filters. So remember, with our magazines, I'm going to put magazine media here, and we can look at our filters. Right here, we've got parent company, we've got SRDS classification. That's kind of what niche that magazine is in. We're going to go ahead and click on parent company. And we'll take a look at advanced publications and click apply and close. So here we've got our listing of consumer magazines, much like we did for our newspapers. Here I'm going to go ahead and select all. Remember, we have to have at least one title selected to get this analyze data button. But we're going to select all. So I'm going to put a check mark to the left of media property. I'm going to click on analyze data. And I'm going to go to the Periodical Analyzer. So as you can see here, the Periodical Analyzer looks very different from the News Media Analyzer. There are over 20 reports available to you in the Periodical Analyzer. I'll go over a few of the most popular. The first being the average paid, verified, and analyzed non-paid circulation report. And to access these reports, you click on the name, And that takes you to somewhat like a view that we had for our newspapers in the modify option. You can see what categories are available to you. Very few are grayed out or automatically included. So if you'd like to select all, you can click select all here. If you'd like to go through and pick and choose what you'd like, you can do that as well. If you want your total paid, let's say total verified, and then we want total paid and verified, you can include your single copy, total single copy, and then you can include your total paid, verified, and analyzed non-paid circulation. So once we've chosen our categories, we click on submit. And just like the news media analyzer, our report pops up, and then you just click export. You choose your preferred format and you click OK. And now your report downloads directly into Excel. So here's our report. And now you can do your analysis from here, whether or not you filter or pivot tables, same with our newspaper data. Another popular report is the issue by issue report. So reports in the Periodical Analyzer, most of them pull data from the most recent 6-month publisher statement. So the average paid, verified, and analyzed non-paid cert, the data you saw there were averages. However, if you go into the issue by issue report, and for this, I'm just going to select all as an example and click on submit. What you're now getting is the actual circulation for every single issue for a title within the 6-month June or December period. So if you want actual information for the issues, you can go to this report. Here you're going to export again, same as we do with our analyzer tools. Choose your preferred format and click OK. So we'll close out of here. Another very popular report is the 5-year trend. Now the 5-year trend, as I said, we look mostly at 6-month statement periods. The 5-year trend adds the June and December info together and provides you with a 5-year trend for the publications you pull into the analyzer. So you'll see here we have 2017, 18, 19, 20, and 21. This is a good way to look at year-over-year information. And just remember that that 5-year trend, it does pull that 6-month statement added together to equal the year. So this is a very popular report if you want to do some trending. And then you just export it like every other report. Another report I want to mention is the geographic analysis report. I get asked about this report quite often. This is the circulation by state. So I click on geographic analysis. And for this, I'm going to click on select all and click submit. Now, all your circulation by state for the titles that we pulled in here is available in your spreadsheet. Just go ahead and click export, choose your preferred format and click OK, and that will download. Something also I want to mention is up here, you'll see an Add Historical Reports button. When you click on Add Historical Reports, you won't really see anything happen until you click on a report. So I'll click on a report, and now if you want to pull December 2021, 2020, 2019, 2018, and 2017, I can pull that historical information. I'll click Select All and click Submit. Now you'll see you've got your 2021, 2020, 19, 18, 17, etc. The 5-year trend does provide information, but sometimes you want to look at that 6-month period over period. And it works for all of our reports. You go into your geographic analysis and you pick your periods that you want, and then you run your geo report. So that's there. Let me close out of here. That's our periodical analyzer. Let me click reset and also show you briefly. You can also go into the analyzer for B2B data. Let's select a few titles, and then you go into Analyze Data and go into the Periodical Analyzer. There's fewer options here for B2B and farm, but you just click on a title. We're going to select all for this example, click Submit, And now I've got my B2B information, which I can export just like I do everything else. And I click OK, and that downloads. Same goes for farm. If you were to pick farm titles and pull those into the analyzer, we do it just the same as every other title. Put a check mark to the left of the title, click Analyze Data, and go into the Periodical Analyzer. So that's how you access your newspaper data, both PDF and download data, and your magazine media, B2B, or farm data. That's always available to you. So that is Mastering the Media Intelligence Center in 30 minutes. Please remember, if you need any help in the Media Intelligence Center, you can contact me by this for support information at the top, micenter@auditedmedia.com. And there's an 877 number here. The phone number comes directly to me, as does the MI Center email. So if you're in here and you get stuck or need additional help, please give me a call. I'm happy to help you anytime. And I thank you so much for your time today and for joining us. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.